Hey, welcome to Lulu's Bubble. Hey there, my name is Leila and this is Lulu's Bubble. So last week I spoke about the importance of media reset, and this week you're just gonna touch on like the steps that you can take on, that you can go on, in order for you. These steps are just gonna serve as a baseline, and you can go in further or you can include your own steps, but this is just like a baseline because I know oftentimes we would have this willingness to do it, but then you don't know where to start. So I looked into it and I really wondered, like, feeling like this and being in a slump, what can I do to actually take myself out of that? What can I do to actually to see some sort of movement in my life? So hence I came up with these steps. It's nothing like extravagant or crazy like that, but it's just something that I just thought to share with you guys so that yeah, it can help in any way. So the first step is just basically looking good. Okay, put in a little bit of effort on how you look. Looking good. When you're in a slump, I know you throw in whatever you find in your place, and you don't even put that much effort even on your appearance as much because you just feel so drained. You like feel so lazy. There's not that much motivation. You don't even feel like looking good. You just feel like, why am I even doing this? You know, like there's just a lot of like negativity around that. Like there's just a lot of negativity around you that even when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can't help but criticize yourself. But now this first step is very crucial because it helps you get up. It's the first step that oftentimes is the hardest because you don't feel like doing it at this point, right? You don't feel like doing it. Yes, you have a lot of nice clothes in your closets, but you just don't feel like wearing them. You feel like it's just gonna be a waste of an outfit that you could have saved for something. But I just personally believe that, like, you know, I just think that it'd be a good idea for you to actually wear those outfits now. I mean, what are you waiting for? I know, yes, maybe you're waiting for an event, but then what event? What if that event never comes? And what if when it comes, then the outfit doesn't look as good as it did when you actually initially got it and you don't like it anymore, you know? So like live in the moment. This enables you to live in the moment, to look good. So now this is just gonna ultimately lead to you looking good and also feeling good. The whole point of this is for you to actually like pour into yourself, to feel good, to show up as the best, as your best self. And I really and truly can guarantee when you look good, you're ultimately gonna feel good, right? It's been said, and with that being said, I know that your energy level is going to increase drastically with that because why? You look good. So ultimately your inside are kind of changing. You look at yourself differently. There's this sort of motivation and passion for life that you're starting to feel. It's not going to be anything too extreme. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be anything too extreme, but at least it's the starting point. Now you feel motivated, and now moving to the next step, that little bit of energy that you're feeling, that will enable you to now your environment has a huge impact on your overall well-being. Your mind in your environment being cluttered leads to your mind also can like cluttering, you know. And now when you are looking at your environment and you're decluttering and you're tidying up and you're putting everything in its place, that makes room also in your mind because now you don't feel so suffocated. You're letting air in your mind, your space is good, you feel motivated, you can't help but also want to do more because why? Your environment is clean, you're clean, you feel good, you know. Now that also kind of leads to you getting a bit motivated. Now this leads to us moving on to the next step, which is actually now where the reflecting part actually starts. Now I believe that like most of us do set goals at the beginning of the year, and even if you don't, that's okay, but you can use this opportunity to actually do that, writing down the things that you'd like to accomplish. This is just basically you planning out what is it that you'd like to do so that in the long run you're not left in a position where you feel, you know, like you don't know what to do. You have all this time but there's not much that you'd like to do. But now having a goal list, having written down the things you'd like to accomplish, that gives you something to actually fall back on and focus on. And that is what this step is. Write down all the things that you'd like to accomplish, whether it's for this year or like long-term. So just write down everything that you'd like to accomplish in your life. Or if maybe that's just gonna feel too extreme, you can just focus on this year. What is it that you'd like to accomplish this year, right? And for the people who did write goals at the beginning of the year, what now you would need to do is analyze your goals, reflect on them, and look at them. Basically, I know probably, I mean, if you have valid, like within these 6 months, looked at your goal list that you maybe set at the beginning of the year, then it's good because now you know where you are and you know where you need to go. But I know a lot of people, myself included, we haven't been looking at our goal list for the longest time, and like ever since we actually wrote it. So now this gives us the time, this gives us an opportunity to look at it, to reflect on it, and to actually remind ourselves of the things that we'd like to accomplish. It gives us that. So now what I would like for you guys to do is look at that and analyze that, and plan on it, plan on it, write down the things that you'd like. And this also gives you an opportunity for the people who did set goals at the beginning of the year. If maybe like you're no longer feeling the same way like you did in the past, this gives you like a chance to maybe pivot if you must. Maybe the goals that you set at the beginning of the year were not that realistic, or maybe you're no longer feeling like that. Your mindset has shifted, and that's okay. Now this is an opportunity for you to rewrite your story, to fix it, to be redirected, to pivot a little if you must. And it gives you that. Just write a long list of the things you'd like to accomplish. Now the next step is actually within the step that I was just talking about, and this is when you write like maybe just everything you like to accomplish. What you'll do is just like categorize them. It's gonna be your short-term goals, mid-level, and then your long-term goals. You're gonna now distribute everything, because from that long, it's just a long list, right? Now it's gonna be very overwhelming. You wouldn't know where to start. Now this step enables you to like categorize everything and put it in these short-term, mid-level, and long-term. Now you're giving yourself some sort of estimate of like how long this is gonna take. And granted, I know that sometimes you don't really necessarily know how long some things are gonna take, because some things are just beyond your control, and that is okay. That is totally okay. But now what you can do is just like estimate. It's okay. But if you don't want to estimate, you feel like that's going to be too overwhelming, that's okay also. That's okay. I mean, there are those obvious goals that you feel like, okay, I'm gonna like accomplish this within this, maybe like if there's a challenge you'd like to do, that okay, if I start now, I'm gonna be able to finish it then. And that is what you can do with that. But then if there are those that you're not really sure, then that's okay. But then you'd like to also like have some sort of like give yourself a timeline. I think giving yourself a timeline is kind of important, and it helps a lot because it helps you move. Now when you think you have all the time in the world, you end up not moving as much as you would like, or moving at all. You end up procrastinating a lot, and you're just like, okay, there's tomorrow. And that's just it ends up just leading to you maybe coming back in the same cycle and writing down the same goals, and you want to avoid that, right? You would like to avoid that. So now that's what you can do. And then after that, you're gonna like do your research, plan on how you can execute, how you can go about these goals, achieving them and executing them. And there's also like sometimes you write things down and you don't even know how you're gonna do it, but then you have the time to actually. That's why like the planning part has to come in place also, because you need to plan how you're gonna accomplish them. You need to plan how you're gonna go about them, what you're gonna do, what you need to do to actually like accomplish these things, what are the steps you need to take. So now it's basically like going in deeper into those goals, right? So you need to do that, plan, do your research, and find out what is it that you need to do like for you in order for you to accomplish. An example that I can make is maybe if you want to lose weight, you'd like to accomplish, and you're currently at this number, you know that you need to do your research to actually accomplish that number. And the research, maybe what you do is like you find out the exercise that you need to do. That's where the research comes in. The exercise you need to do, the food that you need to eat, the food that maybe you need to exclude from your diet. You look in more, like it just goes in deeper into your goals, like single-handedly. So don't try to overwhelm yourself with a lot of things. And also your goals can also include the habits that you would like to accomplish. I think personally, when I say goals, a lot of my goals is just a mixture of habits and goals and J. So that can also be included in there, Then now the next step is you writing basically a letter. It doesn't have to be a letter. It really doesn't have to be a letter. It can just be like a paragraph. But this is where you like the reflecting part comes into place, like the more reflecting part, right? You're gonna ask yourself some questions, which is you're gonna ask yourself, how are you currently feeling? I know the way that you be feeling at this step, at this stage, is gonna be definitely different comparing to how you felt at the beginning. But don't look into that. But if you can reflect on that also and write down how you felt when you first started, before you even started this, how you felt. And now you're gonna write also how you're currently feeling. And then after, you're gonna write how you would like to feel, where you would like to go, where you would like to be, and how you which place you'd like to be in. So that's what this step is going to entail. Just you asking yourself these questions. Why would you like to accomplish certain things? What would you like to get out of this? It's just a bunch of questions, just you reflecting. And even with your mindset, it helps you also feel better basically. And now what you're gonna do after the step is, from maybe that list or even the letter that you wrote, with the feeling part is like, maybe I'd like to be more productive, right? Let's be more productive. Now you look at like, okay, for me to be productive, what can I do? And then you realize that, okay, my sleeping pattern hasn't been that great, right? So what I can do is maybe start like having a sleep schedule and really investing on that. And that's what the step is gonna be about. You're gonna pick 2 things that you wanna invest your time. Like, it's gonna be non-negotiable. It can even be that what I just mentioned, maybe focusing more on your sleeping schedule. Your sleeping schedule is definitely gonna be like, it's actually the beginning of it all, because if you don't get enough sleep, you end up not getting a lot done. You end up not feeling that motivated and productive. So you end up just feeling sluggish and really sitting in that slump. So, you could like maybe pick that as one of the things you'd like to really focus on. And this is going to take you from this step, right? And you're going to add more things as you go. But then I'd like for you to focus on these 2 things, which is that whatever it is on your goal list, maybe if when your sleeping pattern has been good, then that's not something that you're going to be focusing on. There's a list. You have a list, okay? So you're going to choose like 2 things that you'd like to really focus on. It can even be like maybe your spiritual growth. You'd like to maybe invest more time with God and really be consistent with it, and really like be mindful and intentional about it. It can be that also. So that's what you're gonna do. Pick 2 things that you're gonna like be full on, and maybe like you could say you're gonna do it for like 30 days, and then you're gonna choose another 2 after you've mastered this. Don't just be quick to move on, and also be graceful, okay? It's not gonna be easy. I know it's not gonna be easy to like go on about with these things. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be very hard. And to be, especially when you're not used to it at the beginning, it's always hard. And sometimes at the beginning you feel so motivated and you get it done, and midway it's just like you end up like falling back in that slump. And it's okay. That's why we have these mid-year reset. That's why we have this monthly reset, weekly. Those are gonna be the ones helping you to get up, helping you to like move and actually like get out of that. So now I know these steps are not that crazy, but like these are just the things that I feel like will serve as a baseline. And depending on where you are, it's gonna be different. Maybe the first 2 steps are not necessarily what you need now, or maybe even the last 2 steps. But wherever you are, you can do it however works for you. I just put it in a way that I feel like it's gonna make sense, and in a way that I feel like will be good. But depending on where you are, don't be too hard on yourself. Also, do kind of like be graceful and gentle with yourself. I think that's the most important thing, because now when you're being too hard on yourself and you're pushing yourself too much, you get drained. And you don't end up doing a very good job when it comes to this, and you just end up feeling disheartened and not feeling like doing a lot of things. So yeah, I really hope that you guys like these, and understand also that it takes time. The whole point of this is just for you to show up, and you can use this as baseline for all the times when you fall in a slump. Whenever, whether it's monthly, like I said, whether it's weekly, you can always get yourself back up using this video or these steps as reference. And we can add on, like there are more steps to go about. You can do more things. You can add a lot of things when it comes to your reset. You can create your own reset routine using this as a baseline. I just wanted to like get you guys up, and the first steps on which that I feel like are very important when it comes to resetting, that are gonna like help you a lot. this is just, yeah, it's just the baseline. So I really hope that you guys like this and it made sense. And if you had more, like if you have more steps that you like, some things that you add when on your reset routine, please be more than like, please do share in the comment section below. I'm still in the process of building my own reset routine, and at the moment, like, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, but you know, eventually we'll get there. And I've just been looking, and I don't want it to be anything too unrealistic. I want it to make sense to me, and I really hope that it will make sense to you as well. Do create a reset routine that makes sense to you. Don't try to be somebody else or follow a routine that works for somebody else. It's not gonna work for you, because when they know what they're doing, they know how they feel after doing that, and it's gonna be different for you. So I just shared things that I feel like you know, they work for everyone. You know, it's just the baseline basically. So I hope y'all like this. Please do like and subscribe if you did make it this far. And if you did enjoy this video, please do show some love, share, and engage. Thank you.